Hello everyone. In this video I am going to discuss electrochemical cell, then basic concept of batteries, difference between cell and batteries, then important terms related to batteries, and finally classification of a battery, that means primary and secondary batteries. So there are two types of electrochemical cells. First one, electrolytic cell. Second, galvanic cell. In case of electrolytic cell, anode is a positive and cathode is a negative. In a galvanic cell, anode is negative and cathode is a positive. In electrolytic cell, there is a conversion of electric energy into chemical energy, and in galvanic cell there is a conversion of chemical energy into electrical energy. Here you can see picture of different batteries and cell. In the next slide we are going to discuss difference between battery and cell. Basic concepts of batteries: a device that stores chemical energy and releases it as electrical energy is called as a battery or a storage battery. A battery is a device that converts the chemical energy contained in its active material directly into electrical energy by means of an electrochemical oxidation reduction reaction. Difference between cell and batteries. Cell, it is the basic electrochemical unit providing a source of electrical energy by direct conversion of chemical energy. The cell consists of an assembly of electrodes, separators, electrolyte, container, and terminals. And battery, it consists of one or more electrochemical cells electrically connected in a series or parallel arrangement to provide the required operating voltage and current levels. A battery can be defined as: a battery is a device that consists of one or more cells connected in a series or parallel or both, converts the chemical energy by means of an electrochemical redox reaction depending on their desired output voltage and capacity. Major components of cell. The cell consists of three major components: anode, cathode, and an electrolyte. The anode or negative electrode, which gives up electron to the external circuit and is oxidized during the electrochemical reaction. The cathode or positive electrode, which accepts electron from the external circuit and is reduced during the electrochemical reaction. The electrolyte, which provides the medium for transfer of charge. Anode material should exhibit the following characteristic: it should be efficient reducing agent, high Coulombic output, good conductivity, stability, age of fabrication, it should have low cost. Cathode material should exhibit the following characteristic: efficient oxidizing agent, stable when in contact with electrolyte, useful working voltage, Ease of fabrication, low cost. Electrolyte should exhibit the following properties: strong ionic conductivity, no electric conductivity, non-reactivity with electrode materials, properties resistance to temperature fluctuation, safeness in handling, and low cost. Important terms related to batteries. First one, free energy change. Whenever electrode reactions occur in the presence of active materials in the battery, there occurs decrease in a free energy of the redox system. Minus delta G is equal to NEF, where F is a Faraday, which is equal to 96,500 coulomb. N is equal to number of electrons involved in electrode reaction. E is a potential. Larger the change in a free energy, higher will be EMF. Second term is EMF of battery. The net voltage or EMF of battery depends on the total number of cells which constitute a battery. Thus the EMF of cell is given by E cell is equal to E naught cell minus 2.303 RT upon NF log product upon reactance, where E naught cell is equal to E naught R minus E naught L. Larger the potential difference between the electrodes, higher is E naught cell and hence E cell. As the temperature increases, the EMF decreases. As the value of product upon reactants increases, EMF of the cell marginally decreases. A good battery is the one which has constant EMF. The standard potential of a cell can be calculated from the standard electrode potential as follows. The oxidation potential is the negative value of the reduction potential. So, anode whose oxidation potential plus cathode whose reduction potential, it gives standard cell potential. For example, in the reaction of zinc plus Cl2, it gives ZnCl2. The standard cell potential is, for the first reaction zinc, it gives Zn plus 2 electron. So oxidation potential is 0.76 volt. For second reaction, reduction potential is 1.36 volt. So that standard cell potential is equal to 2.12 volt. The cell voltage is also dependent on other factors, including concentration and temperature, as expressed by the Nernst equation. Third term is ampere hour. The quantity of electricity that passes through a circuit in 1 hour when the rate of flow is 1 ampere. This is the rate at which electrons flow in a wire. Batteries are rated in ampere hour. 1 ampere hour is equal to a current of 1 ampere flowing for 1 hour. Fourth term, capacity of a battery. The total number of ampere hours that can be derived from fully loaded batteries under a specified set of conditions. It is the current supplying capability of a battery in ampere hours. The ampere hour capacity of a battery is directly associated with the quantity of electricity obtained from the active materials. Theoretically, 1 gram equivalent weight of a material will deliver 96,487 coulomb or 26.8 ampere hours. Gram equivalent weight means it is the atomic or molecular weight of the active material in grams divided by the number of electrons involved in the reaction. It is the total number of ampere hours that can be withdrawn from fully charged battery. It is denoted by capital Q. Generally, capacity expressed in terms of mass as capital Q is equal to NF upon capital M, where M is a molecular mass, F is a Faraday's constant, and N is the number of electrons transferred per mole of a reaction. This gives capacity in units, ampere hours per gram. Fifth term is energy density. Energy density is the amount of energy that can be stored in a given mass of a substance or a system. It is the energy available in a cell per unit weight of the cell. Energy density is generally expressed in two ways. First, volumetric energy density or energy density, how much energy a system contains in a comparison to its volume, typically expressed in watt hours per liter or megajoules per liter. And second, gravimetric energy density or specific energy, how much energy a system contains in a comparison to its mass, typically expressed in watt hours per kilogram or megajoules per kilogram. Energy generated is equal to E, which is equal to V into I into T. By using relation E in WH, watt hours, is equal to V into AH, we get in bracket IR into I into T. So E is equal to I square RT. So the energy density is equal to amount of energy generated in the cell upon weight of the cell. So finally we get I E cell into T upon W, where I is a current generated by cell, R is a resistance offered by the cell, T time for which the current generated is measured. Always cells or batteries with higher energy densities are preferred. Sixth term is a power, which is denoted by capital W. It is the rate of transmitting current or charge. It is expressed in a watts or capital W. Power generated by battery is calculated as capital W is equal to V into I. V is a cell voltage, I is a cell current. As V is equal to IR, so W becomes I square R, which is nothing but I into IR, or finally we can write V is equal to I E cell. The energy generated by battery is power into time, so E is equal to capital W into T, so simply we can write V I into T. Next term is a power density. It is the ratio of power available from a battery to its weight. It is a measure of power generated in a cell per unit weight of a battery. It decreases during discharge. So power density is equal to amount of power generated in the cell upon weight of the cell. Simply, we can write power density is equal to I E cell upon capital W. Lesser the weight of a cell, higher the power density. Next term is a cycle life. It is applicable to only rechargeable or secondary batteries. It is the number of a charge or discharge processes that is possible before failure occurs. Primary batteries are designed for single discharge, but secondary batteries are chargeable. The EMF of cell decreases during discharging. It is followed by charging, where the amount of active material in the cell increases. Hence, the EMF increases. A discharging followed by charging is referred as a cycle. The number of times it can be repeated is referred as a cycle life. The cycle life of a cell must be high. It depends on a chemical composition, morphological changes, and distribution of active materials in the cell. Lifetimes of 500 to 1200 cycles are typical. Next term is energy efficiency. It is applicable to only secondary batteries. During discharging, electrical energy is released, while during charging, electrical energy is utilized. A good cell is the one which liberates more electrical energy than it uses during charging process. Efficiency is thus the ratio of output of a battery on the discharge to the input required to restore it to the initial state of a charge under specified conditions. Example: voltage efficiency. It is the ratio of average voltage during discharge to average voltage during recharge under specified conditions. Second, watt hour efficiency. It is the ratio of watt hours delivered on discharge to watt hours needed to store it to its original state during recharge under specified conditions. Third, ampere hour efficiency. It is the ratio of output of secondary cell or battery measured in ampere hours to the input required to restore initial state of a charge under specified conditions. Next term, shelf life. The duration of a storage under a specified condition at the end of which a cell or battery still retain the ability to give a specified performance is called shelf life. Next term, C rate. The C rate is a measure of the rate at which a battery is being discharged. In describing batteries, discharge current is often expressed as a C rate in order to normalize against battery capacity, which is often very different between batteries. A C rate is a measure of the rate at which a battery is discharged relative to its maximum capacity. A 1 C rate means that the discharge current will discharge the entire battery in 1 hour. For a battery with a capacity of 100 ampere hours, this equates to a discharge current of 100 amperes. A 5C rate for this battery would be 500 amperes, and C by 2 rate would be 50 amperes. Classification of batteries. First, primary batteries. Primary battery is a cell in which the cell reaction is not reversible. Once the chemical reaction takes place to release the electrical energy, the cell gets exhausted. In this type, electrical energy can be obtained at the expense of chemical energy only as long as the active materials are present. These batteries cannot be recharged and reused. Example, zinc MnO2 battery. Advantages of primary batteries. They have good shelf life. They have high energy density at low to moderate discharge rates. They have very little maintenance. They are easy to use and convenient. They are lightweight source of package power. Applications of primary batteries. The primary battery is usually inexpensive, lightweight source of package power. They can be used for portable electronic and electric devices. They are used in lighting, photographic equipments, toys, memory backups. Large high capacity primary batteries are used in military applications, signaling, standby power, etc. Majority of primary batteries are the familiar single cell cylindrical and flat button batteries or multi cell batteries using these component cells. Secondary batteries. Secondary battery is a cell in which the cell reaction is reversible. They are rechargeable cells. Once the battery gets exhausted, it can be recharged. In this type of batteries, once used can be recharged by passing current through it. The redox reaction gets reversed during recharging. Here, electrical energy is stored in the form of chemical energy and utilized for supplying current whenever needed. Therefore, secondary batteries are also known as storage batteries or accumulators. Example, lead acid battery, nickel cadmium battery, etc. Advantages of secondary batteries. They have high power density, high discharge rate, good low temperature performance. Their energy densities are generally lower than those of primary batteries. Applications of secondary batteries fall into two main categories. First, those applications in which the secondary battery is used as an energy storage device, generally being electrically connected to and charged by a prime energy source and delivering its energy to the load on demand. Examples are automotive and aircraft systems, emergency, no fail and standby power sources UPS, hybrid electric vehicles, and stationary energy storage systems for electric utility load leveling. Second, those applications in which the secondary battery is used or discharged essentially as a primary battery but recharged after use rather than being discarded. Secondary batteries are used in this manner. For example, in a portable consumer electronics, power tools, electric vehicles, etc. For cost saving, and in applications requiring power drains beyond the capability of primary batteries. Comparison between primary and secondary cell. Primary cell reaction is irreversible. In a secondary cell reaction is reversible. Primary cell must be discarded after use. Secondary cell may be recharged. Primary cell, it has a relatively short shelf life. In a secondary cell, it has a long shelf life. Primary cell functions only as a galvanic cell, and secondary cell functions as both galvanic cell and electrolytic cell. Primary cell cannot be used as a storage device. Secondary cell, they can be used as a storage devices. Primary cells cannot be recharged. Secondary cell, they can be recharged. Examples of primary cells: dry cell. Example of secondary cell: lead acid cell, nickel cadmium cell, etc. Reserve batteries. The batteries which are stored in an inactive state and made ready for use while activating them before use are known as reserve batteries. In this type, one of the component is separated from the rest of the battery. Usually, the electrolyte is the component that is isolated. Example: AgMnO2. Advantages: the electrolyte eliminates the self-discharge of a battery prior to use. These are used for long-term storage, 10 years and more. Applications: these batteries are used, for example, to deliver high power for relatively short period of time in missiles and other weapon systems. Thank you.